back from seeing Lion King, the movie, the 2019 movie, of course.
Yes.
It was actually really good, and we're gonna go straight into it with your thoughts.
I loved it, of course. It's gonna have the same story, so I kind of felt, the same way about it.
Mm-hmm.
As I did then, as I do now, I feel the same exact way.
Yeah.
I loved it personally.
Yeah. So no spoilers. It can't really have spoilers
No spoilers
because it's
I
the
guess.
same exact film as the original, just live action. What did you think of it being live action? I definitely have thoughts.
I will be honest. I was completely nervous about it. The only reason being is just because these are animals, and of course we know they don't talk. And it's a little bit, I would say, easier to believe being a cartoon.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
instead of seeing like an actual lion have a voice, I don't know. I was a little afraid. But I think they did a good job. I would say, like I said again, I was just nervous about Childish Gambino and
Donald Glover.
Yes, Donald Glover.
Yes. For those who don't know, he's a rapper as well.
Yes, and Beyonce, of course. I was just afraid that, I would only hear. I'm a big fan of both.
And it's true, they both have very distinct voices.
They do.
So you hear their voices in the characters, and it's hard to separate.
That's what I was nervous
Especially
about.
at the beginning when you first hear them, you're like, that's Donald Glover / Childish Gambino, or that's definitely Beyonce. But overall, they did a great job as they did more acting and more voice acting, rather.
Yeah.
But just to start, the kids
did
a fantastic
so good.
job.
Oh my goodness.
From singing to acting,
like so
they did a great job.
Yeah.
And I think they did personally the best job out of everybody. Of course, Mufasa with James Earl Jones.
Yeah.
Same.
I mean, it's the same voice.
Same voice for Mufasa. Who else? Seth Rogen did amazing.
I think that was the best voice, in my personal opinion. Every time I heard Seth Rogen speak as Pumbaa, I just got like so excited on the inside. Like
Timon was great as well.
Timon was awesome.
Yeah.
I will say that you can't leave one without the other,
true.
Of course. So,
but I'm glad that they both did very well. So you couldn't leave one without the other.
Of course. Yes.
So it was really good. Who else? How did you think? What did you think of the what's that called? The hyenas.
Okay.
It was.
I didn't even think about the hyenas.
Yeah,
I thought about everything else, before.
I personally didn't until now, but now I'm reflecting since we just saw it. I think they needed that Whoopi Goldberg type.
They needed that. Instead she had like a Jamaican type, or not Jamaican, but an African. I don't know, some kind of accent she had, and I mean, it was okay. And I don't know his name, the silly hyena. He wasn't as silly. Like, he was silly, but he wasn't as, like, goofy.
I wonder why they didn't take that same approach, that he was kind of, like, slow mentally.
You know why they didn't. I feel like they didn't want to offend anyone.
Yeah, I think they wanted to be politically correct with that, because he had issues.
And I would say, like, when they, I wanted to hear that one part when she was like, Mufasa. Say it again.
They didn't
Mufasa. Like, they didn't do that part. Like, I just thought about that.
I was kind of thinking about it. I was like, something's missing.
It was that part, and they weren't funny. Like, they weren't funny. They were the hyenas were very.
They were trying to be funny with the like get away from me thing.
Yeah,
like scoot over, but they kept doing that like 2-3 times, and that was it. With I need personal space. That's all for being funny. But other than that, they weren't funny.
Yeah, which that may be a spoiler. Though that whole situation may be a spoiler, but they didn't have that comedic part for the hyenas. So that's
they should have had the Migos.
I don't know about that. But I don't know about
it'd have been new age with the talk and like
people would have hated it. They would have hated it. The Migos.
I don't know.
The Migos.
That was petitioned to be so.
That's hot.
Imagine them doing. They would have had music with it. It could have worked. It could have worked. Disney would have took control over it. It would have worked. It would have worked. Mufasa.
Mufasa. Mm-hmm. I look back now, I didn't realize, of course you watch it as a child, but watching it as an adult, how wise Mufasa was. Mm-hmm. He was great. Excellent. Excellent. I love Mufasa. I don't know. It's
he was great. It's the same thing as
but
I mean, it's not like he got worse.
No, of course not. But I'm saying I understand it now. I understand
yeah.
now. Now that I'm an adult, watching as a child, you don't really understand what he's telling Simba. But I
don't know. I did.
I mean, I did, but I ain't dang, okay.
I knew it was
resonated
touching
a little bit more.
Yeah, I get that.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. We understood it. We knew he was powerful. We knew he was saying something okay, but man.
And then in the cartoon they had his face appear in the clouds.
Yes.
But obviously they may or may not have done that.
Okay, so it was there.
Yeah,
it was there, but
it was at the first part, and then you look at him again, and then it kind of
fades away a little bit. But
yes.
He was you could see the outline of him when when the lightning hit.
The first bit though, when it did it again, I was trying.
I was trying to see it.
It didn't happen the second time.
Yeah,
it faded
I agree
away.
With that. I do agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
I think Simba.
Yeah.
Young Simba was great. Teenage, I guess he's a teenager during that. Yeah, I guess so. Because he grew up, he was a cub, and then...
Yeah.
So teenager Simba, when he was with Timon and Pumbaa,
mm-hmm.
He was great with Childish Gambino. And then here we go with adult Simba with the full hair.
Mm-hmm.
Supposed to be the king.
Yeah.
Donald Glover's voice is just too high pitched, and it didn't sink in that well with.
So you think his voice was too high pitched to play a lion, the king?
The king. I'm not saying him as a person can't be masculine and a man, because that's my dude. He's super cool. I love that man.
All day.
And he's super talented.
Yeah.
But just for being that force, his voice.
I get it. I get it. I mean, because I think maybe because we listen to Childish Gambino so much, or Donald Glover, we listen to his music so much, we just me, I keep it on repeat. So I know almost every lyric. So it's just kind of I try not to hear. I try. But it was only on certain parts.
Yes.
That I heard Donald Glover and not Simba. It was just two separate things.
Let's just talk about him and Beyonce singing.
Okay.
They didn't sing. What's the song again?
Can you feel the love tonight?
Yes, great song. Especially in the trailer, I was I know that's gonna choke me up.
Mm-hmm.
It still was magical, but you can tell, which Donald Glover admitted in the interview, that they did not record it together. They recorded it separately 2 different times, and then they synced it up.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell. Beyonce's voice, very powerful, of course. Donald Glover, Childish Gambino, can definitely sing. That's for sure. Both of them can. But she overpowered him, which I know she has a more powerful voice. But if they were together in person, she would have known to lower it, that power, that soul, and still would have been soulful, but lowered it a bit where it would have been in sync. Because I'm over here listening, I'm I can barely hear him.
Yeah, you said I can't hear.
I could barely hear him at certain parts of the duet.
Mm-hmm.
Great. You could hear him at parts sometimes, but not all the time. And I'm just I being a big fan, I wanted to hear him and her.
Yeah, I agree.
But it was good though. It was overall good. The story, of course, is still in sync. The female lions, it was hard to tell them apart.
Yeah.
Nala and the other, her mom,
and Simba's mom.
And Simba's mom, you could barely tell them apart at some parts until they spoke, or if you know the story, the dialogue was gonna follow, and you know what was gonna happen. Scar.
Scar.
I just wish that he would have the same color to him as the cartoon,
like
but of course
darker.
A darker.
He was like more gray.
Yeah, you could tell the difference, but he didn't have like the cool hair along with him. It was definitely different, but you couldn't. Well, you could tell the difference with him for sure, and especially the voice. But I just wanted him to be darker, and he had the yellow eyes. But that's where I felt like the cartoon was a little bit better. But he definitely killed it and did an amazing job.
Yeah, I mean, I liked how they made Scar look. He looked like a little bit more broken down than the other ones. Like, of course, he still had the scar. His mane wasn't as full as Simba's.
Did he still have the scar?
He still had the scar. It was over his eye. He had the scar.
It was very light.
It was noticeable. I saw it. So he had the scar. His mane wasn't as full as Simba's or Mufasa's. And I don't know, he walked a little different. That's how I feel. I don't know. I could just be saying things, but
he seemed skinnier, like he needed to eat more.
He seemed skinnier, of course, because he's like out, away from everyone else.
But I guess they did a great job with that because it was noticeable.
It was.
He's out there with the hyenas, and he needs to kind of get his food rather than the other lions in the kingdom kind of have it made.
Yeah, of course. They made him seem like more, of an outcast. That's kind of how he is. And one thing I overall loved the movie, but one thing I whispered over to you, I was like, yo, they cheated Scar on his song.
Yeah.
His song was like, he said a few words in the melody of the song.
I guess because he couldn't actually probably sing.
But they could have hooked something. They're Disney. They could have hooked something up for him.
They kept that authentic though. Like, if they could sing,
even
like Seth Rogen was harmonizing a little bit.
He did. They made it
work. They limited
his
voice. They limited what he could and could not do. Awesome. His laugh though.
Yes, it's so perfect.
It was great. Man, he really did. My goodness. They did a great job with that.
They did. But I'm still mad about Scar's song.
Yeah.
I like that song, even though I don't like Scar.
I guess I always like villains.
You do,
because
which is
they have a purpose, and they just want to be the leaders and whatnot, and the kings, and they have a purpose. They have a reason. They're taking a different approach to get there, but I don't know. They're people too.
Yeah, and I see your point with that. Yeah. He was,
it's just dirty if you break it down. Like, you killed your brother.
Well, I mean, he's dirty.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Okay. He killed his brother.
Yeah.
He set out to kill his nephew.
Who was supposed to be king.
He wanted to get with his brother's
wife. Yeah.
It's really a deep movie.
He looked his brother in the eyes.
Yeah, that too, and that's what's
dropped him off the cliff.
It's kind of like you wish, not to get too deep. Kind of like you wish that.
Oh my goodness!
You could have seen the in between years where he's dealing with it.
That would be dope if they went back and did that. Like if we could see
because you have to struggle.
How Scar and Mufasa grew up together.
I did think about that.
That would be nice. That would be real.
Not just that, but after killing him, how it hurt him because you killed your brother and looked him in the eyes as he fell.
Yeah.
That has to torment anybody.
You don't seem like he was bothered by it at all. Because he went straight to Simba. I didn't realize how much he brainwashed Simba either. Like,
because he trusted him. That's his
dad's
brother, his uncle.
Yeah.
So yeah. I mean,
yeah,
it's deep. It's always sad. What bothers me though too, Mufasa as he's climbing up.
Yes.
Again, it's no spoiler with this because it's the same story as the cartoon. But as he's climbing up, he could have chilled out there for a bit because he wasn't slipping.
Oh, okay.
He could have chilled out there. Then he decides to climb like 2 feet higher? More to the top.
Well,
but he could have chilled right there until they passed.
Well, he didn't know that was gonna happen.
I know, but that's true.
Had to happen.
That's true. It had to happen, yes, but it hurts because he could have chilled out there. Or how about, I don't know, I'm thinking different scenarios to keep him alive. That he could have been like, Scar, help me. Oh, you not? Let me get back down here a little bit.
Why would he do that? It's his brother. Like he would feel like he trusts him
because he did. He says, as long as I'm king, pretty much he's gonna stay here. He has a place, which is like super amazing and super sad that he stabbed him in the back like that. Like, you're so evil and I see it, but I love you and I'm gonna take care of you.
Yeah, it's such a tough thing. I know I even watched it like holding my breath, like hoping for a different outcome. But we all know
everybody does. The kind of climax final boss scene.
Yeah. That was beautiful.
I think that was very well shot.
That was
the way they did
beautiful.
It. I do remember from the cartoon, it was hard to distinguish who was who with the shadows.
Yeah.
And it was the same with this, but they did a great job with that fight scene.
Yeah.
And I always wonder, I was like, if they're outside and the lightning struck the tree, caused a fire, why did it cause it's a rock? I thought because it's dried up land.
Yeah, like it had dried out. There was nothing.
So it's gonna catch fire around the area. But I didn't think the rocks would.
It's gonna try to. I guess.
But rocks?
Yes.
Anywhere.
Fire can.
That's no way.
It's dry. They're in Africa. It's hot.
That's like home.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yes. But overall, it was good. Did they have a son at the end of the cartoon?
No, they didn't. But they did in, I don't want to be wrong. Never mind. I'm not going to say it because I don't know if that's right or not.
Wait, are you sure they did not have a son or a child at the end of...
I don't remember that because I don't remember.
Let us know, guys, if they did have a child at the end of the cartoon movie.
That would be a spoiler if yes. Or no, if no. Because they had Nala and Simba had
not saying they did or did not, spoiler wise. I'm not saying
if that was a boy or girl.
I'm not saying they had a child, period, because you may or may not have seen the movie. But I'm just wondering, did they have a child at the end of the cartoon movie? They may or may not have in this one.
I don't know.
We don't know.
I'm not gonna say
it. But it was a good movie. What are your final thoughts of the film? Should they do Simba's Pride, which was the sequel of the cartoon movie? Should they do a live action? Because you know what? They're gonna do a second Aladdin.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, second.
Are you serious?
Yeah, there's a second movie, and they're doing in the works. They're doing a second film.
No way.
They've talked about it. Not mistaken, it's greenlit. So if this is very successful, which reports have said before today that this was the best of the live action ones, which arguably the Beauty and the Beast might actually be the best of them from what I've read.
Okay.
To me, Aladdin is.
Yes, to me, Aladdin is.
Because it's people, of course.
Yes.
And then the lowest one would be Dumbo. Would probably be the lowest one.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do
I mean, it's out. We can watch it, but it's just the whole principle.
I haven't seen it, so I can't give
I
that
haven't
reaction.
seen it yet, which we will check that out.
Yes.
But do you think they should do the Simba's Pride sequel?
No. The reason I just say that is just because this one is the original. Like, let's just do that. We did it. I don't think we need. I don't think it's necessary.
Would you see it?
I would see it. Yeah, I would see it.
Because somebody was saying with the Aladdin one.
I would see the cartoon Simba's Pride again.
Because somebody said with the Aladdin sequel that they plan to do, it was a straight to DVD movie that they're making.
Are you serious?
They're milking it, so to speak. People said and feel. I think it's a good idea.
Well, I loved Aladdin so much.
I just think you're a hater if all the time.
I played the Aladdin soundtrack
love.
in my car all the time.
All the time. And when this comes out, as you're watching this today, the Lion King soundtrack, which July 19th, is coming out. So I always like playing the Pandora, World of Avatar at Disney's Animal Kingdom soundtrack. That one's really fun because it reminds me of the lands, the sounds. It's beautiful.
That one is nice.
It is really beautiful.
That's like something you should go to sleep to. Like.
I agree. Thoughts.
That's real peaceful.
Yes. But overall thoughts, closing. Yes, there were little spoilers, but closing thoughts on this movie. Overall was great. More in-depth thoughts. Closing out.
Yes. Overall, I absolutely loved it. Just because the story will never get old. The story will never get old.
Made me want to watch Black Panther again.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Same story.
Yeah.
Same story. Keep going.
I'm not even gonna get on that.
Keep going.
Oh, we should talk about. We need to talk about those comparisons. Okay.
It's the same. Yeah, it's the same thing.
Y'all, let us know if you want us to do a comparison video to Black Panther and The LionKing. Basically, it's the same story.
Button. Let us know. Comment.
Yes, for sure. But overall thoughts, I absolutely loved it. Because I just love this story so much, and me and my brother watched this growing up like every single day. I would probably give this maybe a 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
I loved it. I thought it was great.
I do think it is a standalone film, and what I mean by that, because it is a 2019 version of it. It's its own film.
Yeah.
Compared to what the 94 version. They're both great in their own rights. I would take the cartoon one, the animated one, over it. I think that's a 10 out of 10 for sure. I would say 9 out of 10 with this. It's just probably because of some of the voice acting to sync it with the characters. Not bad, but just a 9 out of 10, which is a very, very high though. I think the movie is going to destroy the box office, and it's going to break records. It is going to break records.
Yeah, our theater was packed too.
Until Frozen 2 comes out.
Until that comes out, then I don't know what's going to happen.
Destroy the box office.
Yeah.
But overall, I do think it was a great movie. She thought it was a great movie. Hopefully, you guys see it. Let us know in the comment section below. Also, you can hit her up at Blake Nolani on all social medias and Annual Passholder. On Instagram is annual.passholder. You can hit us up, let us know, and also in the comment section below. So that'll do it for us today on our review. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We love doing these reviews, and you guys have shown love. Are you copying me? You guys have shown love that you enjoy these reviews too. And thank you guys so much. Until next time on our next journey, our next quest, our next review. We will catch you then, guys. Take it easy. Peace.